Yo, Terrell here, Terrell Game Vlogs. I'm here to do a response to what is his YouTube channel name today? KXF. Jason, is that his actual YouTube name, or is that no Junior Sage 3? Okay, but KXF Jason for Junior Sage 3. Anyways, this is regarding his response to Jay's video. But the way I'm not going to spin it, and I'm not even going to bother with any of the religious things correlated with any of these videos, because me personally, I'm not the kind of guy who reads the Bible. I'm not the kind of guy who studies up on religious history, so what do I look like trying to refute points on something I don't have that much knowledge on to begin with? I'm mainly going to talk about the sheep thing, because for Jason, for what he says, and it's not like I don't understand where you're coming from, because I thought this way at the same point, but I find it real closed-minded and ignorant of what he said. And the sad thing is that his opinion of this shit is like the public opinion. Like, this is what people view. And this is what annoyed me. And granted, this is me chilled out, because I saw this video and I wanted to go off. Like, I really wanted to go off. I'm dead serious. I really want to go off. I need to ask a question first off. What the fuck, at what point does it stop being you agreeing with a man's opinion to you being a sheep? Where is that line? Someone needs to draw that fucking line, because I feel like a nigga is a sheep every time you agree with somebody. No joke. It seems like every time you agree with someone, you a sheep. Just saying, that seems kind of stupid. It just seems to be this: either you disagree with everything that man says, or you agree with everything that man says, and it only really comes into effect in terms of you being a sheep or not when it's controversial motherfuckers. If it's just everyday conversation, it's like how I like Sonic and Jay likes Sonic, and I'll be like, Sonic Colors was a good game. And he'll be like, Sonic Colors was a good game. Nobody calls that nigga a sheep. Or it could be something stupid like, Nami is my favorite One Piece character. And Nami is J-Man's favorite One Piece character. You wouldn't call me a sheep then. Well, you probably question it because I read Nico Robin all day. I'm just using that as an example. You don't call motherfuckers sheep when it comes to anime related shit. It's only with real world shit and when people want to start calling other motherfuckers sheep. Or when the shit gets serious. It's such a fucking, it doesn't make any sense. Where is that line? That's my first question. Where the fuck is that line? Second thing, for Jason, according to your logic, you should not regard, if anyone were to fuck up in their lives, that means after that point, they are not allowed to talk about anything that correlates with the fuck up they made in their life for you to regard as truth. Because what you said in your video is that you view Tommy as entertainment. Even though Tommy has made points. You even said, and what made it ridiculous, you compared Tommy to the devil. You fucking say even Satan spits truth. I was like, really? That's kind of overboard. It pisses me off because it doesn't make any sense. It's like, to me, the way it's being presented and the way I understood it is that if you fuck up in your life and then you try to, spread your ideals and what you think about the world, even if you say something that somebody else can agree with, that person will still disregard you just because you fucked up in your life. Which is a very closed-minded way of thinking. Now I understand, and see, I've made videos before saying that the one thing I hope people learn to do as time goes on is become more open-minded, but I feel like people didn't understand the extent of what I meant when I said that. When I said that, I'm referring to the point where you would listen to things that motherfuckers you don't inherently respect would say. Because you said it yourself. Anybody can spit truth, but it seems like you only regard it if it's coming from somebody you think is on the same level as you. That's why women don't take advice from hookers. That's why fucking guys don't take advice from crackheads. That's why college graduates don't take educational advice from whores or retards and shit. And to an extent, that makes sense, but it seems like people are just negating. Like, when you start negating truth just because of where a person comes from, that makes you seem very biased and ignorant. It's like a hooker, it's like a hooker can spit truth and can tell a girl something that they need to know, and she would know because she's had first-hand experience. Like, if you're talking about something really good, my phone goes off. If you're talking about something like sex or life choices and shit, people won't regard a hooker's opinion regarding this stuff because she's a hooker. But if it's because she made the wrong choices in her life that led her to the situation, or you get to understand where she's coming from, then you yourself can make the distinction of whether you agree or disagree with another individual. And what pisses me off about the Tommy situation that happened on Facebook is that you disregarded Tommy's statement and what Jay was saying, which was similar to what Tommy was saying, because based on the fact that you don't agree or you don't respect. Honestly, I can say this. I don't even think you fucking view Tommy on the same level as you. Like, as a man, I don't think you view Tommy on the same level as you. And obviously, a guy doesn't want to respect another guy that you don't view on the same level as him. And this is where you have to look at it. You got to stop looking at it as just a person. You got to split this shit up into sections. What the person says and what they do. Because niggas like to contradict themselves, and you won't be able to see the truth if you're just looking at one facet of the way they act and speak and whatnot. Because you can make mistakes and still know right from wrong. You just didn't know it until after you made the mistake. But people then want to disregard you because you made the mistake. And what's stupid is you called him a sheep just because you agree with what Tommy was saying. What kind of fucking logic is that? It's just like, well, I agree with you. That means your opinion is negated because you're just following that nigga. And I'm like, why? Because I agree with what he said? It's kind of like that Cloudville shit, like how when Larry left, niggas used to make the joke about how he took 5 other people with him just because people think that people in this community are sheep. And in a sense, they are. But as I said, someone needs to tell me and explain to me what the line is, because I feel like you called J-Man a sheep and you and Nerdy Mo called J-Man a sheep purely because he agreed with Tommy. And because, see, this is what's stupid. You, in the video, you said that a man should make up and come up with his own ideology. But the basis behind making up and creating your own ideology is to observe the world and the society that you live in and take from people their ideologies to build your own individual ideology. So by that logic, everybody is a sheep because everybody learned what they know from somebody else. How in the fuck does that make any sense now? Like, just when you think about it that way, it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. How people are like, oh, you can create your own ideology. A real man doesn't have to follow somebody else. But people gain their own ideology by learning from other people. You had people in your life that inspired you or taught you how to go about things. Because there is no specific rule to say which ideology is right. So by that logic, everybody is a sheep in some way, shape, or form. You gotta be a sheep to be able to learn how to understand things. Niggas don't just know things from the get-go. You had to go through the process of following someone else through a period of time, seeing how they do things, and looking at it from your perspective, and seeing if it still makes sense. And if it doesn't, then you move the fuck on and you come at it from a different way. And just the idea that and what pisses me off, Jason, is that by your logic, that means I shouldn't regard your truth in this video. That means I should sit at your video and say, this guy's speaking some truth, and then look at your fucking video where you said fucking, what was it? That you rather read Fairy Tail over One Piece or your review with a Fairy Tail OVA and sit there and be like, well, this nigga just talks about ass and titties. This nigga just cares about ass and titties. So by that logic is, I shouldn't even talk about your way of views and morality and whatnot, because according to your other videos, you a thirsty ass nigga looking for some views. If I were to have your mindset, that means I could look at the conversations we had over the past, 4 or 5 fucking years and sit there and go, oh, this nigga believes in religion, but then he makes a video about fucking booty shaking. Then he fucking talks about how he wants to become a respectful motherfucker, and then look at another video where he talks about how he wants to just get money and views and shit. That means I should negate how you came up, how you fucking went from being a fat dude to a skinny dude, how you fucking, I think you said you lived in that trailer by yourself and paid for it for 3 fucking years, kept your light bill and you balanced your expenses and everything. That means I should ignore all your motherfucking accomplishments because of a few things you did that were fucked up. You see what the problem with your fucking logic is? It negates your accomplishments and it makes niggas not want to respect you. People gotta understand everybody makes mistakes. And you can't just take the people who make the small mistakes. You have to take every fucking body. Like, so the woman who let her ass get whooped by an abusive husband for 2 years, if she made the progress of moving from that and getting on her own, does that mean she doesn't know shit about relationships? Just because she got her ass beat for two years and then finally got out of that situation? That's what I find stupid. And let me just make this perfectly clear. Some of Tommy's videos, Tommy Sotomayor, are just do make sense, and I do agree with it. But at the same time, I don't respect a man who doesn't respect himself. Because Tommy has called himself a piece of shit. Tommy has put himself lower than human beings on certain points, to the point where he feels like he's degrading himself by sleeping with black women because he doesn't think he's worth a damn. He doesn't fucking mind. That's what I find stupid. That's why I can't respect the nigga, but I can respect what he's saying. It's the same thing with music. Like how you can respect the artist's music, but you may not like them as a person. People can't differentiate nowadays. It's just fucking what you see is what you get. Because if that's the fucking case, that means your opinion of a person changes literally every fucking video of them you watch. I just find that really closed-minded. That's just really fucking closed-minded. I can't, in all honesty, say Jay is a sheep just because he agreed with another man's opinion. That is stupid. My opinion of that is that is stupid to call another man a sheep because he agrees with another individual. And if that's the case, and see the funny thing is if I took your logic, Jason, your video is negated because of what I know about you and what I know how you fucking act. That's the problem. Your video makes me negate your own video. Your video, if I were to, that is ridiculous. That means, if I were to take your video at face value and agree with your video, and that's what I also find, here's a better question. People who agree with my video or for Jason's video or whoever's videos on the internet, period, does that make them a sheep because they agree with you? If they were to go back in another video and quote you trying to make a point to somebody else, does that make them a sheep? Because if it does, then you're a hypocrite because you fucking said Jay was for the same goddamn thing. That's what I find fucking funny. That's what I find fucking hilarious. That's what I find fucking stupid. Is that logic prevents you from really opening your mind. All that means is that you have a group of niggas you view as beneath you. I can sit here and talk to a crackhead about life and see and find a few things that he knows that I don't know, and he can explain to me in greater detail, and I could gain something out of that conversation. I may not respect that man's life choices, but I can respect that man's ability to retain the information that he learned through those bad life decisions. People make it seem like bad life decisions are just completely bad and there's nothing you can gain from it. You gain understanding, you gain a sense of purpose and a new perspective in life, and you turn and you take a different path because of it. But the nigga beat his wife, so obviously he's a horrible individual. I understand this is the popular way of viewing things. I understand this is the way people like to view things because it's convenient for them. That means they don't have to think much. That means they have to just look at good. We can still do that fucking black and white bullshit where it's like everything good is good and bad is bad. But that's how it fucking is. Just because you make a badass mistake doesn't mean you should be negated, because you can know the right thing to do in certain situations through those bad experiences that you experience by making bad choices. There is no completely negative experience. If you learn something at the end of that experience, then it was worth something. So to me, to call a man a sheep because he agrees with another man's opinion, which is what you're supposed to do to gain your own individual perspective on life, by the way, is fucking retarded. It doesn't make any sense, and it's stupid. And this is why I say I promote disagreement on my videos. I promote people to disagree with me and to thumbs down my video because you don't agree with what I'm saying. Because we don't learn shit through people being, you know, quote unquote, from people agreeing with each other. But at the same time, we don't, and that's the way this video comes off, is that you just want to promote agreement. That if I don't agree with you, then at that point I'm a sheep. Apparently that's how it works. Like if I would agree with Tommy, I'm a sheep. That just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I don't understand how you progress by creating your own ideology through nothing. I mean, Jay said in his video, you steal ideas from other people and then you morph them together with your own established ideology, take your own perspective and spin on the thing, and you get something different. You get something new and original. It's not that fucking hard. But according to you, if that person is fucked up in their lives and have made mistakes and have done stupid shit, that any interesting insight that they have is negated, and that we should never, ever, 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 ever fucking view those opinions as anything but entertainment. And that's sad. That's what's wrong with our generation. We look at the fuck-ups of other human beings as entertainment instead of lessons. Because that's what they are. They're lessons. They teach you things. But I might be going into rambling mode at this point, but so that's my fucking response. In terms of that sheep shit. That I don't call a man a sheep just because he agrees with another man's opinion. You call a man a sheep when they start completely negating, they start contradicting what they've already said before. When they start throwing away their own ideology for someone else's. Completely. And even that, in a sense, you could argue is just growth. Growth and change. But when they stop having their own individual traits and just start doing everything like that individual, that's a sheep. When you throw everything away that was you for someone else and become pretty much that person just in a different body, which is the one thing you should never do. There's no way in hell you should ever 100% agree with somebody. So you should never get to that point where you throw away 100% of yourself. If someone's throwing 100% of themselves, that means they're a sheep. That means they're a fucking clone. That means they're a fucking drone. Not this, I'm agreeing with your opinion. Because you'll run across like-minded individuals. You just won't run across niggas you will completely and utterly agree with 100%. Like all the fucking time. That's not possible. Well, actually, in a sense, it is possible, but it's a very slim chance, and at that point, you shouldn't need to change yourself if you already agree with that individual. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but yeah, I'm done. That's just what I'm going to do. So I'm going to post this, and then I'm going to give it about 2 days, and then I'm going to post the Pokemon Let's Play, next Let's Play part. So, yeah, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I will leave the link to for Jason's video in the description. And please tell me what you guys thought. I usually don't put these type of videos on my second channel, but for Jason, you out of your fucking mind if you want, like, if you want me to follow that ideology, because if that's the case, then your video is negated by the decisions you've made in your life. Every bad decision you've made in your life negates your own fucking video. So, I refuse to just negate your video, so I refuse to believe in your video. Simple as that. So, yeah. And just because I'm and if I hear this defend Jay bullshit, I ain't got nothing to say to you. If your response to me is that, oh, you're defending J-Man and not really anything towards what I'm saying, then I ain't got nothing to say to you at that point. I just gotta look at that comment and see I understand where you're coming from. But more likely, you're just coming from the sheep mentality that apparently for Jason spoke of, then that shit ain't helping you, obviously. If it leads you to make comments like this. But you should always be open to any type of negativity. In any way, shape, or form. Except the form that doesn't do anything. Except hate. If it's just pure hatred, you shouldn't be fucking into that. But if it's just criticism, different story. Anyways, balls again for your boy Terrell. I'm gonna go play me some Pikmin 3. Peace! Ow, my voice.